Danger Close and Electronic Arts takes the first swing in the fight to be the best modern combat-style shooter this year. And with the power of the Frostbite 2 engine behind it, it packs quite a punch. So will the hyper-realism of the franchise coupled with the power of Frostbite 2 be a knockout, or will it just put you to sleep? Let's find out.
Not with weapons in your grid.
Roger, Buddha. Do me a favor, just don't start the shooting.
Who, me? Raise your one more steady.
Preacher, can't be sloppy. Let's smoke these guys.
In Warfighter, you play through a series of missions as one of two characters named Preacher and Stump. Your mission is to hunt down a terrorist leader known only as the Cleric and stop him from shipping mass amounts of an explosive known as PETN for use in terrorist attacks. The story isn't too in-depth or engaging, but it provides a nice canvas for the intense missions that take place, and the fact that a lot of them are supposedly based on real events is pretty mind-blowing. Generally speaking, Warfighter was a mixed bag for me as far as the game elements. It seemed like for everything that I loved about it, there was also something that bothered me. Let's first talk about the obvious one, the graphics. The graphics in Warfighter are insane. Frostbite 2 has never looked more impressive, and in general, the visuals felt better than in Battlefield 3, if that's even possible.
Solid shoot, Preacher! Good work!
The lighting effects were ridiculous, and the level of detail, at least on the surface, was astounding. Unfortunately, despite the amazing graphics, Danger Close really handcuffed the engine by offering a very limited amount of destructibility. I don't have a clear sightline here. I know, I'll just shoot this bamboo and then... Oh wait, I forgot bullets can't go through wood. There were random bits of destructible terrain, but most things that should have been able to be blown apart or torn to shreds with bullets were completely invincible. This bothered me a lot, especially given the capabilities of Frostbite 2 that we've seen in Battlefield 3. Now let's talk about the campaign itself. It has all the elements of a typical modern shooter, complete with sniping missions, stealth segments, and slow-motion breaches. This last one is used a lot. It's like you're part of some elite task force that's charged with killing every door in the world.
Fucking doors!
You'll find yourself doing slow-motion breaches at least once or twice per mission, but a fun little mini-game that I'd like to call How Many Ways Can You Blow Apart a Door keeps things at least a little bit fresh. You'll earn new ways to destroy doors by getting headshots during your breaches. The annoying thing about this aspect, though, is that one breach isn't more effective than another. You start with your basic kick the door in and flashbang, and then use everything from a hatchet to a shotgun to explosive charges to get the job done. But no matter what you do, it's the same result. The most annoying thing about the campaign, though, was the bugs. There were minor bugs like corpses magically disappearing, and then more major game-breaking bugs like this one that forced me to have to restart the mission in order to try to fix them.
I got the gate. Going right. This has ambush written all over it. Eyes on the windows and doors, Preacher.
Okay, alright, I got it, Mother. You're on the gate. Any day now. You can open it at any time. I'm completely ready for you to open the gate. Alright, f*** you then. Another mixed bag is the AI. The enemy AI is some of the most realistic and exciting that I've seen in a game thus far. Your opponents will constantly be looking for ways to change up their angle of attack, advance on your position, and ultimately flank and destroy you. In addition, in some instances, they also seem to retreat realistically when they knew they'd been outmaneuvered, and would sometimes even seem to panic and simply try to bum rush you. I really like this. Conversely, the AI for your teammates wasn't all that great. During program segments, when their aid was built into the mission, the AI worked flawlessly, taking out targets that you didn't nail yourself. But when firefights broke out, they weren't of much use at all, taking out a bad guy here and there, but mainly leaving you to do most of the work and generally offering little to no cover. While BF3's campaign was a bit lackluster, the campaign in Warfighter really hit its stride in terms of balancing hyper-realistic military combat with big blockbuster-type moments, but then diminished this by adding in these driving missions that, while visually awesome, dragged on longer than they should have. The single player really was a case of 2 steps forward, 1 step back pretty much the entire time. All that being said, most of your time with Warfighter will be spent playing multiplayer, so ultimately the single player's problems, while annoying, do get outweighed by what I felt was a really good step in the right direction for games like these as far as they go online. You have your standard game modes like Team Deathmatch, Sector Control, aka Domination, and a capture the flag game type, but also new modes including a more condensed version of BF3's Rush mode called Combat Mission, as well as a cool game type called Hotspot, in which 5 bomb sites are spread throughout the map, and one of them becomes active at random. One team must defend that spot while the other attacks. Defending or successfully bombing 3 random sites gets you a win. Pretty cool. In addition, the amount of unlocks and the level of gun customization is extensive to say the least. You can play as one of 6 classes which have predetermined kill streaks, but each of these classes has subclasses which come outfitted with different equipment. Each class also has about 12 different guns to unlock. In addition to the 70 some odd guns in the game, each gun is incredibly customizable, as you can swap out the optics, barrel assembly, muzzle, receiver group, magazine style, and paint job. And most of these things, in addition to changing your weapon cosmetically, have effects on the gun's stats, which make each weapon versatile in a variety of situations, depending on how you outfit it. The Warfighter multiplayer also introduces the concept of the fire team. When you join a match, you are put into a 2-man squad. You can choose at any point during the game to either spawn at a designated spawn zone or to deploy onto your squad mate, assuming they aren't in combat. This already promotes a high level of teamwork even in team deathmatch, but in addition, if your teammate dies and you avenge them by killing their killer, they're instantly respawned at your location as a bonus.
Your buddy avenged you. You're back in the fight.
A simple addition, but one that makes even the most chaotic game modes more tactical by leaps and bounds, and simultaneously fixes many of the spawn-related issues that you had in games like MW3. Other spawn-related issues in attack and defend game modes are solved by simply adding out-of-bounds areas that make it extremely difficult to spawn camp. The only real problems I had with the multiplayer were the small number of maps and the fact that once again there's very limited destructibility. But overall it's fun, balanced, and with Frostbite 2 a really visceral experience. Medal of Honor Warfighter is a game that feels like it needs 2 scores. The single player, while impressive looking with fun combat, had several extremely major problems and would score around a 6 in my book with the bugs in mind, while the multiplayer with extremely deep and meaningful customization and a streamlined spawning system deserves more like a 9 out of 10. Because this game is meant more for the multiplayer, I'll round that up slightly and give Medal of Honor Warfighter 8.25 headshots out of 10. For more news, reviews, and video game shenanigans, be sure to keep it locked right here to Smosh Games.